I'm Bob Ruff, host of the Truth and Justice podcast. Each season on Truth and Justice, we reinvestigate a wrongful conviction cold case. Our investigations are shared on the show in real time, and you actually participate in the investigation. Season 3 has just begun, so this is the perfect time to get on board right from the beginning of a brand new case. Search for Truth and Justice on your favorite podcast directory and start listening and participating today. Start on episode 301, Murder on September, to join in on the investigation.
Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Wake up. It's feeding time.
You're on. It's recording.
Start it over. Was it right? Hold on. I forgot how do we...
We don't have to start. Actually, for the last, I don't know, we've been airing for 6 episodes. This is our second recording of this podcast. We recorded all the episodes one night, the day before my wedding, actually.
Wait, we're going through with this.
We're going through. I might as well.
You're throwing off the welcome to conversation with the big guy.
There you go.
I am the big guy, Ryback.
And I'm Pat Buck. I get to say my name for once. All the other episodes, you introduce me.
Yeah.
But
the one, I think we should redo it and keep our theme going, you know?
No, I think we should just roll with...
I've had one drink and I feel like I'm so tired from the day and getting in late last night. Jesus. And I'm just off my game already.
So we're about, I don't know, I think we're 7 episodes deep. I thought people would kind of like this, but for the most part, it's been nothing but positive feedback for just us sitting like 2 assholes in a hotel room drinking beers and just telling stories.
I'm not going to lie, Pat. I didn't even expect us to make it to the second round of recordings here. I thought it was going to be 6 and out. Fucking go home. You know, the feedback has been very positive. Overwhelmingly positive in this day and age with social media, with you usually will hear something from some jackass out there that has something negative to say one way or the other, and I can tell you not after this we'll probably get a plethora of them, but There's been no negative feedback for the podcast, and I can't thank the fans enough for tuning in and hearing what we have to say. And this is moving forward, we're going to talk about so much, and the different books that we both have read and the experiences that we both have, being able to help people in different ways and shoot the shit on wrestling and talk about my transition from the WWE into the independent scene. And it's exciting where we're going with all this.
And I think even before we begin, guys, if you can do us a favor, please subscribe on iTunes, leave a comments, good or bad. Most of them in 5-star reviews. There's been a couple of dickheads that left a 1-star or a 3-star.
Guys.
Thank you guys very much. But overall, it's been a pretty stellar way to, we'll talk about this whole weekend. It's been a long independent wrestling weekend for both of us. And we both were just kind of like, fuck, when can we start sitting down and just doing the podcast? Is probably what I was looking forward to most, especially because I thought I was fucking dead today.
That was a hell of an experience earlier on. So Pat Buck went and got blood work done for my new The Big Guy test booster.
Slip that plug right in there.
But just telling the truth once again.
It's true.
And I needed him to get blood work done before taking my new testosterone booster, available on feedmemore.com starting in November. And so he went and got that blood work the other day, and his results came in today while we went and grabbed food before going to the other appearance.
Little more than that. So basically, I think a lot of the boys consider you, kind of a, dare I say, a scientist.
Dr. Jarrell Silvers. I mean, it was my character in OVW.
Fuck, people don't know about that.
No, that's a whole other conversation.
Basically, I even remember...
I think we need to just come, this podcast is about being honest, Pat, and that's, if we're going to go anywhere with this, I think we can't mention Dr. Jarrell Silvers and not give the good people the truth behind Dr. Jarrell Silvers.
So, I mean, pretty much you're what it came from is we always noticed you knew about every supplement.
I used to make Cialis, I think is the exact thing that we were trying to say here, Pat.
Well, the internet found their headline for this episode.
It's
that was a topic I forgot. I wrote that down. I was like, the Cialis. For those that don't know, obviously people have heard of Cialis. You've seen the commercials.
made me a lot of money back in the day at OVW. Money was tight. I had to get by.
A sexual aid, if you will. Kind of, I feel like it was a little bit after Viagra, where Cialis was in your system for a couple days.
Yeah.
And this Cialis, I mean, like, because I'll be honest, I used anabolics at a. I believe I should be over 6 feet tall, and I believe I used them when I was 17, dude. And I think it's weird because I have very long arms and short legs, like almost like a Benoit-esque frame. But like,
Are we allowed to?
we allowed to say?
Oh wait, yeah, we are. Okay, sorry.
With what?
His name.
Oh no,
It was a joke. Word was banned on. So
I still feel guilty watching his video. I still watch all his matches.
I watch a lot of his matches too.
It's like fuck, and it's like
intensity wise, and he's number one.
It's just like he did that shit. But anyway, back to I think it closed. I don't know if that's true or not, but it closes your growth plates. Is that true?
I've always heard that too, and it's. I mean, I think though there is definitely something to people that do them before they're fully matured and fully grown. That I definitely think there is something to that side effect.
So before I tell the embarrassing story of today, I'll tell the embarrassing story of when I first used anabolics, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Most people don't,
of course.
Yeah,
and after that, I had severe side effects where I was the old limp noodle, and I was only like 18, 19 years old.
I think it's happened to everybody that's ever used steroids. That is,
and I remember being a freshman in college, and I had a girlfriend, and I could not perform, and it really drove me nuts because the girl I was dating had a really bad reputation, and I knew she'd been around the block a couple of times, and that sounded really bad. But anyway, like I couldn't perform.
Hope she's not listening.
No, I don't care. She might be actually. She still follows me on social media.
Oh.
And I remember one time I was like, what is wrong with me? And I couldn't figure it out. It's because like I didn't take care of myself after doing, like, dude, I would get like the sore nipples from the gas, and I'd ignore it. I didn't know what to do. And I think people shouldn't take anything unless they obviously know about it or under. Yeah. That's an episode in itself.
I talk about that in my book. I outside of medicinal purposes, I wish it did not exist just at all. And it is so abused and over abused, and it's just so bad for people on so many levels. And I'm very proud of where I'm at now and what I've learned from it, from doing it in my early 20s, and not a lot. I never was a lot, but like it was enough to learn that I don't think this stuff is good, and it's definitely not productive to a healthy life.
So going back to the side story, so I went to a doctor, and I'm like, what fucking is that Twitter?
Getting some more.
Okay.
Put up
so anyway, I went to a doctor, and he's like, oh, take this Viagra. And I was like 18 at the time. I was like, okay. And I remember I purposely, even though I wanted to break up with this girl so bad, because I couldn't perform, I'm like, I have to do it once. And I drove like 3 or 4 hours, took a Viagra, had our ways, and parted after that. But that was my first experience.
You had to have the good showing.
Just once.
Yeah.
But I remember after that, because you got like a 3-pack or a 4-pack, it took nothing else until many years later where your Cialis was flying around the locker room.
And it was the liquid Cialis, 30 milliliters.
Yes.
Yeah, buy one, get the second one half off, I believe was the
There was I
special.
remember on an OVW show, I think 12 of the guys in the locker room, we all passed it around and took it. I think some of the girls might have
ODB
too.
also joined in, the One Dirty Bastard. If you remember ODB, with TNA, right?
Yeah.
She had the run in TNA, and I believe Jimbo Slice Jimmy, the manager from Smoky Bones, just told me, because he messaged me after our podcast.
Charges.
Yeah, he was like, are these stories true? And he absolutely loved every second of it, because he's just happy he got mentioned. I think
Jimmy, we love you.
I got to get his Twitter here to plug his Twitter, just to keep him in good graces with everything. But
Please don't
she has
press
a food truck now.
charges.
Yeah.
We both were like, fuck, are they going to arrest us for restaurant antics? Those are just stories. We didn't do any of that stuff.
That was all Pat.
Yeah, it was all well, got to get by. Okay, so flash forward. Actually, I don't even know where the fuck we're going to talk
about the liquid Cialis.
We went to look, but we have major ADD because we're talking all over the place. Because we're going to talk about today with going back to blood work.
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
I think that you got to. This is the stuff that kind of let it flow naturally.
Sure.
And then just speak honestly. But in going back to the Dr. Jarrell Silvers, you know, I created this spin-off of what I was doing in my real life, and it got over, I guess, with the boys, I guess, kind of.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it on TV or anything. It was more of like a promo day thing, and where I would drink my magic.
It was a cartoon
Potion.
Bruce Banner that turned into the Hulk.
Yeah.
It was a legit
and my
Dr. Jekyll
turning
and
into the
Mr.
Hulk was
Hyde.
turning into the Silverback.
Yeah.
With the fur trunks. And like run the ropes like a gorilla kind of. Remember? I
Do you remember that? Fuck.
Which Bray and Bray Wyatt and Bo always told me their dad, IRS Mike Rotunda, always popped for the gorilla run and loved it. Like that was his favorite thing supposedly during that period, and I was god awful with everything else, but you're still god awful. Some of the fucking marks are saying, but no, I'm not. I'm fucking great. But it was just one of those things during that period that I was doing that in my real life, and so we just started doing it there, and it got over. But it was just that was a short period of my life, and I obviously learned many lessons from all that. And I don't condone anything that I did or whatnot, but it was I believe it's part of who I am and what I did at that point. So.
Well, it also was a time too where I think that the pay structure actually for developmental talent has gone up a little bit, but back then, I mean,
$500 a week usually.
500. I do know guys
$750 if you were lucky.
There was
too, right? $350.
There was a couple guys that were there. I mean, I do know of a couple guys that were making that would work. They'd work at Cheddar's on Sundays.
Great food.
Oh, that was great food. Yeah, great place. But people it's almost like eye alarming for me. I'm like, fuck, I'm trying to get a job, and I'm like, why are you? I'm like, aren't you under contract? And I won't name their names, but it doesn't really matter. But they'd be working on a Sunday. They're like, yeah, man, growth is expensive. I'm like, shit, they're trying to make money to aid them in this dream job that they had. But
you got to do what you got to do during that period to like. I remember that's when I got to actually with FCW. Did I ever tell you? I know I told you this. I tried to get a job at. I was going to apply at Smoky Bones again while still working down there because they re-signed me to $500 a week the second go around when I was on $750 the first time.
So you got rehired for less money?
Yeah, for less money.
Oh shit! And I didn't know that. Oh,
so after getting down there and getting going. And I've always eaten a tremendous amount of food. And like I was buying ramen noodles and like just to get enough substance. And it's not like a pity story or anything like that. I had to buy cheaper foods to have enough food to get through the week. And I was like, ooh,
Tampa's more expensive than Louisville. Yeah.
And it was, so I'd been down there, I don't know if it was a couple months. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I need to get a job at Smoky Bones on like Sundays or something once a week just to get some tip money and I emailed them asking about.
I remember this. Okay,
getting a part-time job while being in developmental, and for whatever happened I don't know if I had hurt my shoulder. Mm-hmm. It was maybe after the shoulder surgery. My shoulder was bad from deep south, and I got there and I had to have a shoulder surgery. It was right after Stu Wade Barrett tore his lat. And I felt very uneasy about it, but I was like, this is bad. And after sending that email, something had happened. I had rehab. It was like a Monday morning. And it was like one of those just circumstances. Like I never had slept past an alarm at that point or anything. Okay. And I overslept my alarm one morning and was late to my rehab appointment. And during back then, I think they didn't have rehab at the facility. Where sometimes it was like, if it was at the facility, it was much more laid back at that point in time later on. But when you had rehab at a actual facility at a rehab clinic, and they make appointments, and WWE was checking in with them on some of them, you kind of had to be there.
Sure.
You don't want to be and they were cool if you here and there. But one of the other guys earlier in the day, what had triggered all this was late for his appointment and made a big deal about it and got fired that day. Because he handled it the wrong way.
Jesus.
And so that had just happened. And then while they were talking to the rehab place, they're like, well, this guy's also late, which was me, which triggered the phone call from John Laurinaitis and Ty Bailey.
Okay.
And I was just like, God, and like they brought up the raise or giving me a raise or something, or I wanted to work part-time, and I was just like, and I was in the wrong, and I apologized, and they go, then Johnny was like, we're gonna give you the raise, and everything was cool, but like Ty Bailey, like at the end of the conversation, Johnny like had to kind of whatever, and don't let this happen again, and Ty Bailey just goes, yeah, and screamed at me like, to try to like really put the stamp on it. And I remember I just sat there and I go, what the fuck? What's wrong with that guy?
Just a culture of fear
like,
kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, I don't even know. But I remember just sitting there and just being, okay, what just happened? I was just late. Okay, they gave me a raise. And then Ty Bailey just for no reason at all just screamed like an asshole. And that guy always came out and like everyone hated him, and like I was always nice to him. He knew me from the original Tough Enough, and
sure.
But like everyone that works there is all fucked up one way or another.
Yeah.
It's
you have to be, don't you?
Yeah. If you're not when you go in, you will be by the time that you leave. And everyone listening in the office right now, oh my God, that's so true.
So we fucking bounced around from me in college to you trying to get a extra day of pay.
Hell of an opening,
Sir,
right?
yeah, it's a hell of an episode. There's gonna be question marks when they explain. God damn it, put it on silent. Fuck.
Mike White on Twitter, he's one of my biggest fans. He's always retweets everything. I'll trip that down.
I'll run through the events today that I had I sat in my car for, I'm not gonna exaggerate at all, maybe 2.5 hours having kind of a mini breakdown. So what I'm trying to say by what we're talking about, we went all over the place, is that you clearly know your stuff with supplements and you've had your trials and errors. You know your shit. So basically, you got this testosterone booster coming out, and you were telling me, look, like, because it's been a while since I've touched the gas, whatever you want to say, and you're like, have you ever got blood work done? I'm like, yeah, I've gotten blood work done, but I've never had my testosterone checked ever.
Yeah.
So luckily, I married a wonderful woman who has great insurance, so who I know is listening to this. And
Lauren.
Hello, Lauren. So I went to got my blood work done, and this was like a couple days ago, maybe on like a Wednesday. We're Saturday night right now, and while I'm driving to the show, I had a big show last night for House of Hardcore. You and I are both on House of Hardcore tonight. Driving to the building, you had your signing. We're going to meet up for a meal. I'm like, you know what? Let me call the doctor and see if my blood work's in. I called the doctor, to which they go, yeah, your labs just came back. Hold on, let me check on something. About a 5-minute on hold. They come back and they go, well, Mr. Buck, it's... you're going to have to come in Monday and speak to the doctor. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I had this agreement because I've had this before with different things. You can tell me if things are okay over the phone. We had that agreement before I left. I'm like, yeah, that's the problem. There's abnormal blood work. So immediately I go like, okay, please tell me what's wrong, what's happening. And they're like, sir, we can't. HIPAA, your violation, your doctor's not here, has to read this, yada, yada, yada. Hang up the phone. Fucking message my wife. What the fuck do I do? Call
we
back.
talked about that before.
Yeah, so it kept going back. I'm going, and I'm also going, all right, you're telling me something's wrong. I'm wrestling fucking John Silver and Alex Reynolds tonight, so I could put them at risk at something. I could have something wrong with me.
You instantly think the worst when they say, I told you this with doctors, what they do. You'll go get blood work done, and I've had this happen, and I got a really good doctor now that the nurse will just text me the results or send a copy of the results over me, like a picture of a text message. A lot of these places, though, they require you to come back in just to get your results. And even if they're good, a lot of them require you to come in because they get paid an office visit.
Yeah, it's a scam.
So, but even the front desk will handle it. Not exactly the best way every time. Like I said, if you have low testosterone or high cholesterol, and they see abnormal, they won't tell you what it is. Mm-hmm. So you instantly think, "Oh my God, I have cancer! Oh my God, I have AIDS!"
I had AIDS today. I literally sat down. I sat in my car when I Voxed you, which I think Voxer should definitely sponsor this show.
Vox, if you don't have it,
get Voxer. Get some friends first, and fucking Vox this shit
a
up.
walkie-talkie for adults.
So I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, well, today's the day I'll get cancer. I'm going to plan my memorial show. I have a lot of my buddies come in.
Run one last scam somehow along the way. Just
One last hurrah. I'm like, that'll make enough. I'm like, I'll shave my head off. I'll call myself Heisenbuck.
Which you've done that before, by the way.
Fuck. We didn't say that though. We haven't talked about hair. Okay.
Yeah.
You've decided to let your hair go. This is a side story. Just like you go the bald route.
I love being bald. Yeah,
it works for you.
I can grow my hair out. I have the widow's peak, but I love being bald. Like it's who I am.
Me and Broski, because we go back and forth on hair all the time.
Very sensitive on the.
We're both because we both have huge bald
He's gonna
spots.
be so upset this is even being talked about on the
Well,
air.
he's a fucking bully, so he deserves it. A complete piece of shit. People see on. I've said this on the other podcast, but now
He's
it's
been great to me.
Oh no, I love Broski. One of my dear friends, and one day I'll be his representation. But however, he will. Do you know what he fucking does, dude? There's times where. This happened this summer where like he looks for angles. If a Facebook photo, if I look the slightest bit bald, he will screenshot it and send it to our group chat.
Yep.
And fucking say something about it. Like there was one time where I'm on the boat with my wife and we're having a good day and she took a nice little photo of me. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to put it up and drive in the boat.
Yeah.
Fucking 4 seconds later, Pat, your hair looks great. Like just a self-esteem assassin. So anyway, there was one point, this is a definite side story. We'll get back to today eventually. Fuck. Well, here we go
The
again.
hair with Broski.
The hair. Okay, so
I want to hear this.
where I said, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want long hair. I don't want short hair. I'm going to go the crew cut. I don't think I could pull off the bald look, but I wanted to go a crew cut, a little shorter than John Cena kind of look. And I got big Cena fan. God, though you were him for fucking Halloween once.
Okay, we're gonna go on a side story with another goddamn side story.
So
that's another one for the worst moments of my life.
I get my hair really fucking short, number like fucking 1, whatever, and and I was leaning up at the time, and I remember I went to Atlantic City with the newly debuted Kurt Hawkins.
I think Big O was there too in that photo.
Big O, Broski's former Diesel. I don't know if they're friends anymore. Was there too. And we went to Atlantic City, which was a big party thing nearby us. It's a East Coast thing.
Yep.
And we're all having a good time. We all get together. We take a group photo. Now, mind you, Big O's probably 260 pounds of gas, and Hawkins probably a good 220, 230, and I'm probably at that time maybe 195, 190.
Okay.
And I'm wearing a baggy shirt, and I'm not that tan, and I'm also back in the picture where
You didn't have good placement at all.
good placement.
Big guys, like, you want to be in the front of the
gotta be in the front
shot
of 'em. Yeah.
to get you look much bigger when you're in the front. It's just the law of the camera.
So we take this picture and we send it to our friends in a group chat, like, oh, we're all hanging out, having a good time. And fucking you and Broski were planning, like, oh, fuck, Pat's sick.
So at this point, and I'm not one to like usually make comments on like something, and I guess I made a comment like, does Buck have cancer or
Is Buck dead? Is Buck sick? Is
Yeah.
Buck on chemo?
and it kind of triggered like
And
everyone.
I'm looking at the photo and I'm like, oh God, I really do. I look like
For
I'm
whatever
dying.
reason, like the light of the camera, it made you look
And my
super
shirt
pale
looked really
and like,
big, and I look at
Yeah.
this like small arm, like my face. It was terrible. I look like
And I don't see like I'm even seeing you now. Like, I hadn't seen you in a while, so I figured like, oh, he didn't tell
shit,
me.
yeah.
Like this is.
and Breaking Bad was popular at
Yep.
the time, and you're like, oh,
Well-
you guys planned my memorial show. You guys are like, there's gonna be a 10 mil salute.
I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny. I don't know. It's
What was funny was that, like, dude, we were at a bar where they only sell 40s, which was awesome. It's a cool idea. So
That sounds like a phenomenal bar.
Dude, we're hammering beers, and you guys just start going, and I remember staring at my phone, and just like my soul was crushed.
well, you're out in the moment and like trying to have a good time, but there's nothing you could do to change that look at that time and place.
No, and I'm just like,
You are stuck in that.
I have a really shitty haircut. My shirt's too big. I'm losing weight. I'm really pale. I'm like, I look like my night was ruined. So
I apologize. for
That's
that.
fine. It was going back. It's where I still have the picture on my phone. And I show
You have
people.
a full head of hair now, and I'm the bald guy sitting here.
Well, me, big user of the old Topics spray.
People that don't know what that is, it's from the movie Shallow Hal with
No, it's fucking not.
the pellets, right? That you just kind of sprinkle on your hair.
We've come a long way in the hair system where it is flakes, but like it's very.
So it is that.
In a way, but it's not that shitty. It blends very, very, whatever. It's
Like when your hair gets wet, though, does it kind of run down your?
No, it doesn't run down your
riders
face.
will be out by the end of the match.
Well, that's the thing. He's screwing up all, and that's the thing too. He'll bully me, and then when he had his fucking match with Sheamus, and his hair is all over the canvas, I didn't say anything, and I just went man. I'm saving this. Within 5 days later, he's bullying me, doing something on this humble babyface character, like, winning the title at Mania. Is just a complete facade. He starts bullying me. I'm like, oh yeah, dude. What about the fucking? He left his mark across Sheamus's chest. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
So he's like, no, it's my boots. It's a boot scrape. I'm like, no, dude. It's our hair. It's our fucking fake hair that we put in.
Just shave your head bald.
But I can't pull it off. That's the thing. My forehead's too big.
You never had the beard either, though, did you? At that point,
No, I never had a
bald and
beard.
beard look is in.
It is in style, but I don't know.
You're still good, I think. I think you have a few more years before you have to go that route.
So I think we get that. Well, I had the surgery. I had the hair surgery, but it didn't work.
Quite a few people have.
And then, okay, let's.
What were you getting to now before that?
Okay, so got my blood work done.
Yep.
I'm thinking I'm sick. I call up, give me the results. They won't give me the results. I message you. I message my wife. She actually goes there and tries to fight for my results, to which they say, like, no, we can't give you this, blah, 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 blah. And then we go to eat.
Okay, yep.
And so we're sitting there.
We just sit down and
I'm trying to keep it cool, but I'm just like, hey,
clearly you were there, but you were not there. You were very occupied on your phone with
And I was contemplating leaving. Like, I was like, fuck.
Driving back 2 or 2.5 hours.
I didn't want to blow off these podcasts, and I'm like, I have it's my debut match at House of Hardcore. I've never, for an indie fan like me, lifelong Mark Boy, wrestling in the ECW arena, I haven't done it. I'm like, I'm going to lose this opportunity, but I need to find out if I have AIDS or not. So finally I get the phone call, and I disappear. And
you got up from the table while you were talking. The waitress was over there talking to me. You get up and just leave. So I instantly assume the worst. That, like, sir, we need you to be in a private area and sit down. Like, we have something to tell you.
Yeah.
You were gone for like 10 or 15 minutes. I'm sitting there. You come walking back, but you stopped and you're like texting before you even came back. And I'm like, oh, this seems really, really bad.
Yeah, I'm dying.
And then you come back and...
So anyway, I come back. I'm walking around the restaurant because they basically told me, look, you have to send an email or literally sign a paper. I'm pretty quick with like technology stuff. Take a picture of it, scan it, send it back, and they'll give the results to my wife, or they can tell me on the phone. I go through that thing. I'm asking the waitress for a piece of paper. I give consent to my wife
with a crayon and a napkin. Fucking, your consent,
scribbling down, and then they call me up and they said the doctor said we can release this information. You have low free testosterone. Yep. Your cholesterol is a bit high, but you can absolutely. Because I'm like, I got to fight tonight. I mean, even though we're in fake, we throw fake punches and kicks. Like, I'm in there with someone. If I fucking bleed on them.
If you start bleeding, the possibility of bleeding is there in any match.
And what if I had something wrong with, like, say, my kidney or my liver, and I'm like fuck, it fails in the match. We went fucking balls hard tonight. We went full speed. So
when someone says something's abnormal, you don't know what
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, so they're just like, no, and the doctor said you're good to go. So I'm like, okay, today's a good day. Had a good match. I'm not dead. I'm not dying, and it's like the second bad thing that happened. Remember we were voxing the other day and I got hit by a car?
Yeah, you were at a light, and the good thing about Voxers, you could just push the button and leave the phone down. And
I should play the Vox at the end of this.
That would be hilarious. Actually,
we were planning. It was tonight.
Yeah,
we were planning
talking about everything, and I just hear and then I hear you mumble something.
Yep.
And I remember I was on the computer. I was checking emails for the feedmemore.com. And I'm like, I'm paying attention, but I'm not paying attention. And then I realized like 30 seconds have gone by and you're not talking to me.
Dude, I'll set the scene even more. I was training at Creative Pro. If you want to be a wrestler, creativeprowrestling.com. And it's a 2-hour commute when I go to my Long Island school. And it was I trained a whole session, and I'm pretty tired, but I'm going back there, and I'm voxing you again about today. Like, I was actually going over the schedule for today. Yeah, pass me that beer. and we're talking about the autograph signings and some things on the show, and literally I get smashed at a red light. But then
How fast was he going on that?
Dude, they said it could be as low as 15, but like I feel like they said
I saw that damage on the back of their.
They said between 15 and like 35, but like I was hit so hard. The Voxer's still going, so you hear me talking about some bullshit. And I will get the Vox on this podcast. I'll remember to do that.
I think people need to hear the Vox.
That'll be the Easter egg. So I'm like, yeah, but we'll
you mumbled. You go, and like I thought you hit your head.
What happened was I'm at the red light. I'm like, yeah, the signing's going to be from boom. I get hit, and I don't hit my head, but it goes up my spine, and I kind of look at my side. I'm disoriented, and I read the license plate because I thought the person was taking off. And they didn't, so I'm mumbling like XQ4. Like
that's what I was wondering. I didn't know. I thought you were like reciting a number, like trying to call somebody.
Yeah.
I assumed Lauren's number, your wife, and I was just. That's when I'm playing this back. I'm thinking,
he's dead.
Yeah, it's over. I just like, God damn. It was scary.
So it was all the other person's fault. It'll get taken care of. But I remember voxing you after, like, how fucking hilarious it'd be is my last words are going over your fucking indie schedule. And I just fucking died.
That was, I mean, it's funny now that everything's all right. But it was, I remember I messaged Lauren on Facebook.
Yeah, she told me that, yeah.
Like, and then I messaged JD. I was like, Pat just got in an accident.
They
and
both
like,
messaged me.
And because at that point I didn't know how bad it was, and it was. Thank God everything, clearly wasn't
and it was
as bad.
10 minutes beforehand, my wife was like, I get really worried about you driving on these. I'm like, I'm fucking fine. Voxing away, boom. But so I'm here today. We just finished.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long fucking day. You know what's crazy is that we're already we haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes of our episode. We're 32 minutes in.
This is what we do. This is what we talked about.
We wanted to talk about all the stuff prepping for this day because there's a couple funny stories, and then.
But like the one I noticed, a lot of the feedback that we've gotten, and it's funny. My sister just messaged me today and talking about it. It was like the chemistry between yourself and myself. That I go, this is from literally being my best friend for so long, but one of the few people that I talk to, and we Vox, and again that Voxer plug,
give us
going
money.
back and forth. God damn it, Voxer! Just that we literally go from morning to night, just messaging each other at random times, and
sometimes boring shit, and sometimes great stuff.
I love Voxing you, telling you about like I mentioned before, my activities just to bore you before getting to the actual point of the message, because I just need another human to talk to sometimes. But today, like flying in, flew in last night.
I think actually, let's save that and we'll go right into the next episode. We've done more than enough. We'll talk about your prep work for. I just completely cut you off like a piece of shit.
No, not at all. It is conversation with the big guy though, but you are the co-host.
This is all ramblings. Let's get into this is like first day of school. Well, actually, you did a couple indies beforehand, but we'll just pretend that this is like Ryback's first.
This was my first real like indoor show. Like
this was a real deal.
Did a couple outdoor deals.
Like, real fucking. I mean, you did the ones with the names on it. Hurrah! But this is like everyone on the show is pretty good here.
Yeah.
And like House of Heart. We're in Philly right now. So we're going to continue on. Thank you guys for listening. Leave a review on iTunes. You can follow me on Twitter.
You ready to wrap this up already?
We're at 32 minutes, man.
Wasn't the time? Don't we usually go for 45?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought we always try to hit between 40 and 45 because the number one thing that we've been getting from people is they want more, but which is what I want. I want people wanting more.
And then we just shut them down.
But it's now I feel like we're not giving them quite enough.
All right, so we'll keep going. Fuck it.
Feed me just a little more, just to get by.
We're talking about blood work.
I was going to talk about everything going on today, but I didn't know you wanted to.
I just figured that could be a whole new episode. We're just really lazy, and no. We can continue on. It's fine. I don't know.
I wasn't expecting this at this point. I was really excited to talk about today.
Okay, talk about your. Okay, go. Open this beer, and you talk about your day.
No, but so flew in last night, and obviously flew in from Las Vegas to Washington to Philadelphia, and had a little bit of a delay from Washington to Philadelphia, and I got in here I didn't get to bed till about 1:30, 1:45 last night, and got up at 6, did my morning cardio, knocked 50 minutes out, and excited to go sit down. I love having, as I mentioned, like when I'm on the road, I love to sit down and have a nice breakfast.
This sounds like a Vox you would say.
Yeah. This is a Vox. I've just completely disregarded everything we've talked about and just pretending we're on Voxer now. And so I go to get into my car, and I open the passenger door, and the keys it's a Kia SUV, and for whatever reason, it has two sets of keys. One was in the little console there, and the other keys I set on the car seat, and I put my phone and some other papers on the passenger seat, and the doors locked on the doors, they were unlocked, but I shut the door, but I guess with this particular vehicle, they block you out if you leave the keys in the car and shut the doors. So now I have no phone. I'm anticipating having time to like have an hour to go sit down and have breakfast before going over to the signing today for the Icons of Wrestling. And I can't get in my vehicle. I have no way to my phone. So I have my 70-pound merch bag filled with merch which is a whole...
Filled with your $100,000 of merch that you...
Which was a little accident we could talk about on the... I mean, might as well just tell the people now. So my shirts for the website, for feedmemore.com, and for these independent appearances, and along with some other things, the company that makes them for me essentially doubled my order this week. When I got out of the shower and I was getting ready to go do an interview in Las Vegas for one of my buddies, Joe Peroni, and that I've known for a very long time. And I opened my door to go leave. I had a 40-minute drive to get to this place. It was all the way across town, and there's 25-pound boxes of
Jesus Christ
T-shirts sitting. I can't get out. I had to move some of them to like record. Like they were blocking me, and I had to grab these things and start throwing them in my house. As Sophie, my little French bulldog, is just looking on in fear, trying to get these boxes inside. I'm not leaving them outside this whole time. They essentially sent me $16,000 worth of T-shirts.
Jesus Christ!
And I needed about 7 or 8.
Are you keeping these?
They printed them already. So
what can you do? Yeah,
they were just like, whatever. Just pay us what you owe us and pay us the rest whenever. And I was like, all right. I mean, it's a lot of shirts. So I'm doing well on the website and everything, but not like
$16,000 worth of merchandise.
That's a huge order.
If you sold all those, that's a lot of. So if you want to get a shirt,
I would appreciate the orders. When you see the buy one get 4 free, just.
I was saying, just bring them all today. Sell them for like $3 each.
Yeah.
All the boys would be like, "Fuck, man!" Like
killing it. Just big guys killing it out here.
Everyone with these buffet
losing money
shirts.
left and right. But anyways, I lock my keys in the car. I have to go run down to the front desk with my big ass merch bag because I'm not leaving that out by the car. Mm-hmm. And thank God the guy got here with like 15 minutes, and I was able to get out, hunt down food, and then shot over there to Icons of Wrestling and had my first independent appearance, which we could talk about that transition from WWE to
the whole new,
to what it's like with all that.
Welcome to being a pirate. You're a pirate now,
and it's I love it. I mean, it's not bad.
Sure,
I mean, it's just different.
Yeah,
and it just after doing it for a while, it will be normal.
Yeah,
but it's with the WWE, you're used to everything kind of being done for you, and everything where you don't have to do that. And I love working like for myself and doing things, and I'm doing that with the website and everything I'm doing at home with the supplements. I have full control, and this is no different. I think with wrestling fans, they get used to seeing you as your persona only, so it might be like different seeing you in different elements at time. But
yeah,
it doesn't bother me because, like I said, it's just you're just working. Everybody works one way or the other. So, do you have anything further to add?
I don't think so. I mean, we got through that. I don't want to. We're approaching 40 minutes. We're very unprofessional. We're not supposed to mention time on podcasts, but we don't really give a shit.
That's just a unwritten rule, which
I want to get into more stuff, but I feel like it might be take it too long. So maybe let's just wrap up here.
I'm all right with that.
All right, we're wrapping up now. Again, you can follow me on Buck Never Stops on Twitter. Please leave a review, subscribe to the show on iTunes or Stitcher or SoundCloud, wherever you do. And we're looking to join I don't know, we might be on this platform soon. I won't mention by name just in case the contract falls through, but I think over time,
Audio boom.
Audio Boom, we're going to join them to extend. Apparently, this podcast got pretty over, and people want us. So, no idea why, but show's going good. So,
Random moments of golden nuggets, as I like to call them. A lot of utter bullshit, but random moments of golden nuggets, Pat Buck. That is why.
and we will join you all next week.
You do have November 5th is at MCWD. Do you remember putting that up? The Maryland Championship. Shit. You alright, buddy? Yeah, I got. Think I'm okay. Yeah, you alright? Alright, you a little shaky now? Yeah, a little bit. Alright, so you want to pull a little bit further? Yeah. Just put the front.
A Napa guy knows that by the foot, there's no better ride than an old station wagon. Room for 6 people facing forward, 2 people facing backward, and a whole lot of luggage, lumber, and bicycles haphazardly strapped to the roof. If you can parallel park that beast, you can park anything. And with some quality parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep your land ship running longer, stronger. It's not obsolete. It's a rare treasure. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know